can Bitcoin and the crypto markets have a black swan event Tuesday, July 5th, or potentially even sooner? That's what we're going to address in this video. And at the end, I'm going to tell you about what I'm doing to prepare for this. And if it doesn't happen to be the black swan event, it doesn't matter, because what I tell you in this video is still relevant for the markets moving forward, in my opinion. So where does this all stem from, guys? Well, right behind me, you can see my Twitter profile, and I already posted this thread on June 30th when this whole thing was starting to take place. We saw Bitcoin come down since then from like almost 22,000 down to where it is today, about 19,000. And I think it could go even lower. So let's look over here, guys, and check out my tweet thread. And this is all to discuss essentially what happened with this article over here from Arthur Hayes called Floaters. Now, essentially the TLDR on this Floaters article is the fact that there are other zombie-like projects like Celsius, like Three Arrows Capital, that essentially have or are getting close to becoming insolvent. And as we see with Three Arrows Capital, there's a bunch of others like Voyager and things like that are associated with it, that they have lost capital now too because of this. So Arthur goes into talking about the fact that there's still probably a lot of these out there. Now this one paragraph here, I'll read it for you guys. It sums it up pretty good. It says, like, unlike the human dead, the living dead of capital markets carry their possessions with them into the river Styx, bobbing just out of sight underneath opaque waters. It's only once their soul finally succumb to the Maccabee reality and market conditions force their carcasses to surface that these companies' worldly possessions are unearthed and ultimately auctioned off in a fire sale. For those intrepid living capital market explorers who possess the resources to harvest the fruits of the dead, the capital market zombie is welcome. So what he's saying, guys, is that there's probably going to be more projects that come out and become insolvent. And when this happens, they're forced to sell their assets, their balance sheets, at a fire sale. Just like we just saw Three Arrows Capital, they're being ordered to sell off all of their assets, right? And they're going to have to do it quickly to whoever the highest bidder is, which means that people are going to be able to get these things at a discount. We see now BlockFi, which was valued last year at $5 to $6 billion, now being sold to Sam Bankman-Fried potentially for $240 million. That is a huge discount. And this is a perfect tweet to kind of talk about these zombies, right? So Jason A. Williams, going parabolic, asked, is Voyager next on June 12th? And this guy, of course, like diehards who, are scared of the game, like bullshit, blah, blah, blah. John Bloom, pretty sure that Voyager team understands market mechanics better than you do, buddy. It's not our first rodeo, you rookie. And then Jason says, yeah, I guess they don't. And then he just humbly says, copy, counterparty risk is tough to mitigate in the growth industry, though. Systemic issue either way, like, duh. And then this guy just goes, wow, you look dumb. So, like, that's that, right? And so really what the point I want to drive home right now is that we potentially could go a lot lower. And, it baffles my mind when we see all these guys, the TA, the charting analysis, who are like, because it's doing this, and we see this in the chart, blah, blah, blah. But what a lot of them, some of them do take a perspective, right? And use fundamental analysis to make decisions. But we've never had a crypto market correction in an overall macro recession. And we just had today come out, or yesterday, the central bank of, I think, Atlanta or somewhere in the United States said that we have a second quarter where the GDP has decreased, which technically means that we are in a recession. It has not been announced yet. And all the brightest minds, Chamath and Elon and everyone, saying that we're definitely headed for a recession. But I personally do think that we are going to, the Fed and government need to do something about inflation. It's way too high. Prices are increasing too much. This is why we saw the sudden increase in the 75 basis points increase that started on July 1st. So the reason that we think July 5th might be a really a catalyst, or this weekend leading up to it, is because you have and you need to go. I will post in the link below, the description below, the link to Arthur Hayes, this whole Medium post. You should read it. He writes some really brilliant things. He's made some good calls before, and as he self-admits, some not so great calls. But the logic behind is really worth interesting, and so I'll put it's a long read, but it's very detailed, and it talks about things like price to earnings ratio and how he's looking to value different crypto companies or projects in the space, talking specifically about DeFi, giving perfect examples, things like that. It's very good. So anyway, there's like basically a few ingredients here that he says are the perfect kind of soup for the storm. Essentially, he says risk assets will again discover their dislike for tightening USD liquidity conditions sponsored the Fed. Crypto funds must raise fiat to satisfy redemption requirements to continue to sell liquid assets. So essentially, they have to have all these crypto companies had money in assets, right, in crypto, and they need now fiat to pay off loans, to prevent margin calls on their leverage, things like that. And so they're just selling. And at the end of this, he talks about maybe we won't see Bitcoin and Ethereum go down too much, but altcoins should have a pretty brutal way to fall from here. And then he says no fiat can be deployed until Tuesday, July 5th, because Monday, July 4th is a U.S. bank holiday. So there's no fiat can be deployed into this market. So people are going to have to keep selling to pay these things down. So basically, what am I doing? What am I doing here? So what I have been doing to prepare for all of this, because we've been seeing this, this clear, combined with the crypto bear market, with the macro bull market, I don't expect to see any real buy action, and especially everyone's gone, right? But I'll tell you something at the end of this, which is very interesting to think about. Really interesting. So the strategy is, right? Some people think that even Robert Kiyosaki recently talked about how he thinks that we could go to 10, 11, even 6, or no, he said, okay, this is insane, right? He's like, I have a huge buy order set at $1.1 thousand. Like, there's no effing way, Kiyosaki, that Bitcoin's going to 1.1. If it does, then everyone and their mother is going to buy up everything that they can. So anyway, but with that being said, though, if you read the article from Arthur, he will go into some ways that he is valuing the distressed assets, right? And then again, we saw A16Z raise $4.5 billion to go buy up distressed assets. So the point is what are you going to do from here? If the market, over the next week or month, Bitcoin does go down to 15, 10, 7K, something like that, and ETH down to 500, are you okay with that? And what is your strategy to come back in? So personally, for me, and Master Ventures and everything that we're doing, we're trying to make as much stablecoin or fiat as possible right now so we can deploy into the stressed asset market. Me, myself, personally, same thing. If you're watching this and you aren't earning cash right now somehow, you might want to consider, if you have free time, or some ways to do that. Because if you are exposed to the crypto market right now and you don't have a bunch of dry powder sitting on the side, you might want to have that option, because some of these things, some of the altcoins are already down between 75 to 99%, right? So if they go down another 50% from here, my God, some of these blue chips are incredible, right? So now let me go into a couple different things here. This is an interesting thing. So this tweet was just a few minutes ago, or earlier. No, sorry, it was today. Yeah, no, maybe 12 hours ago. But talk about whales accumulating more Bitcoin. And here this says richest Bitcoin whale splurges over $102 million on Bitcoin in the last month on a massive shopping spree. And then this other article by you today talks about Glassnode on-chain analytics, just showing that whales, giga whales, it's a wallet that holds over 100,000 Bitcoin, are continuing to buy the heck out of this. Now I have on my Alpha channel. If you're not following my Alpha channel, the link will be in the description below as well. Very soon, probably this week, I will make 2 videos about 2 interesting, very interesting theories that I've come up with about the way that crypto and central bank digital dollars and world governments are going to move forward with everything, and the whole debt situation. It's wildly different than anything you've heard from anyone else, but it's something I've been speculating on for a very, very, very long time. So let me know in the comments below if you want to see a video like that. It's completely, at this point, conspiracy. It's just a theory that I have. They're 2 different ones, but very interesting to think about nonetheless. And if I'm right, there's some interesting ways to play that. And you have to ask yourself, what's the strategy for you right now? If we go down, which I think we're going to, I don't think we see the bottom yet at all. then what are you going to do, right? So me personally, looking for blue chips, making sure that things don't have, like some of them are down a lot, but their circulating supply is like only 10% maybe of the total supply. So that seems a lot of inflation has to come in. So I'm looking for things that have been around for a while. Like Arthur, an article talks about looking at the projects have real adoption, making real revenue, ones that have customer base, the ones that have proven themselves, the innovative industry first, right? The Aave, the Compound, the Uniswap, Sushi, these guys that were like niche leaders, like they create industry first and have actual real customer base. This is Chainlink, things like that, protocol level things like that, right? So yeah, guys. So that's it. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it useful. There are some links in the description below that to continue to go and learn more about. This is a very high level overview of this topic. Go check it out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.